So let's talk about advocating for neurodiverse students in your computer science classroom. We live in a society today that is infused with technology. Its use is an essential life skill, and it shouldn't be just for those who can afford to pay for it, and it shouldn't be reduced to a tool for consumption rather than a tool for creativity and innovation. This is particularly important for neurodivergent students as there is a clear and documented pathway into the technology workforce for these brilliant brains. But here's the thing, these students are counting on you to bring them into the classroom and engage them in meaningful and relevant ways that help them to grow their skills, both technical skills as well as interpersonal and communication skills. A recent study of Texas special education showed that students with mild to moderate learning disabilities were the ones who were most likely to lose special education services and who, because of their higher functioning neurodiversity, tend to do well in computer science, engineering, and related fields. But when they lose those services, they are far less likely to graduate high school and go on to college. And they and their parents may not even know that technology is a viable career track for them that can be attained with or without a college degree. Interestingly, the research shows that the positive impact of supplying resources to this population is likely as large as high-quality early education programs. That is a huge impact. So, how do you advocate for them in your classroom? Well, first, I think it's really important to give them choices and a voice, even for those students who don't self-identify as neurodiverse. Let them choose their own adventure. Be willing to rethink or think past prerequisites and predetermined pathways. Let them explore their interests. They have this deep intrinsic motivation and they have the ability to develop productive routines. Now, it may not look like the routine that you would put into place for them, but give them the space and trust that they know what will work best for them. You may make suggestions, but let them iterate based off of their own personal preferences. Provide support that reflects the principles of universal design and acceptance. This allows students with a diverse range of strengths and weaknesses to learn from each other. And in an inclusive environment and one that is full of acceptance of differences and values deficits as strengths, just because it looks like a deficit in societal norms, it may actually be a strength in something like computer science. So providing opportunities by creating spaces where these students feel safe and accepted, you then have earned the right to begin to introduce some of these softer workforce skills into their toolkit of skills. If you first allow them to engage when and where and how they want to, you'll be able to build that trust where you can start to introduce new skills that sort of stretch their preconceived ideas around communication and relationships and self-advocacy. Finally, I really want you to understand that sometimes skills will snap into place for these kids, but at a developmentally slower pace than neurologically typical students. So while you're trying to manage the ability-based learning as opposed to the age-based learning, understand that you may have to provide some space and room for those developmental assets to come into play at a maybe slightly later time than neurotypically developing children. I hope that this is helpful. Happy to share additional resources with you if you just reach out to us at youthcodejam.org. Thank you.